Today's video is powered by Hauppauge. Skip it up and that up. This is a video that's going to piss off a lot of people because even as of a few months ago, I was a big champion of the Wii U. Now, I'm going to give a disclaimer first. I actually think the Wii U is going to do okay. I think in the long run, it's going to sell well. Nintendo has awesome first-party exclusives, and they always seem to get them out of a rut. Trust me, when the HD Zelda comes out, the system's going to be flying off the shelves. So even though I'm going to say a bunch of negative things today, I truly enjoy my Wii U. I love the games I have for it so far. I haven't tried ZombiU yet. I've been too damn busy. And I love the tablet controller or the Wii U gamepad, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a pretty good system. But what I also think is that Nintendo totally screwed up the launch of the Wii U. And there's a couple reasons why. And the first I'm going to start off with is the hardware. Yes, I'm going to be technical again. Two things. One, as it seems now, the Wii U is anemic. The hardware is underpowered. There's nothing truly confirmed about it because Nintendo won't come out and say what the Wii U really consists of. We know it has a triple-core main CPU that is a derivative of the Wii's original, whatever the hell it was called, Broadway CPU. It's a beefed-up version of that. And we know it's a Radeon HD-based graphics processor. It's a GPU setup that is more, it relies more on the graphics processor than the main processor. That's why the clock speed of the main CPU is so slow. And obviously clock speed isn't everything, I know that. But developer after developer keeps coming out and saying that the system is underpowered. Now, could it be professional trolling? It could be. But there's still only so many times. One thing I've learned about rumors in my life is that when you keep hearing the same thing over and over and over again from various sources, it usually ends up being true. That's what happened with me at my job at IBM. I kept on asking my boss, hey, we're going to get laid off? No. But every day someone new would say, eventually we're all going to be laid off. And you know what? It happened. Now, do I think, here's my concern. A lot of people come to me saying, Rich, even if Nintendo's hardware is not as powerful as the PS4 and Xbox 720, it's not about the hardware, it's about the games. Yes, of course, time and time again, history has proved that when it comes to consoles, the most powerful system actually ends up not being the most successful. This generation, the PS3 was the most powerful system. Wasn't the most successful. You know, at least until now it has the biggest install base, but that's not the only thing that makes a system successful. The previous generation, the original Xbox was the most powerful. It wasn't the most successful. So on and so forth. We could go back in history. I could sit here for 20 minutes. I get that. But if there's enough of the gap between a console, like the Wii U, like the original Wii, okay? Yeah, it sold like hotcakes, especially in the beginning, but it hurt in the long run because Nintendo didn't make the money off of software licenses because third parties didn't make games for it because there was such a big gap in hardware from the 360, PS3 to the original Wii. And I don't know, I'm hoping against hope that the gap isn't that big this time, but it seems like it's going to be again. And what's going to happen? Okay, yes, it isn't all about hardware, it's about those uber fun games, but the third-party developers, because there's such a big gap in the hardware, which it seems like there is, I wish Nintendo would come out and say what the system's really capable of, third-party developers are going to shy away from it. So when they make a game for the PS4 and 720, guess what? It's not going to come to the Wii U, just like it did with the 7th generation. Games came out for the PS3 and 360 and didn't come out for the Wii. And I don't want to see that happen again. I was hoping Nintendo was going to make the system beefy enough. I knew it was going to be slightly underpowered compared to the 720 and PS4 because they're newer systems. They're coming out later than the Wii U. But it seems like they really made it somewhat almost too anemic. Now, maybe Bayonetta 2 will prove me wrong. Maybe that'll be the game, even if it isn't a 10 million seller, it'll be the game that opens up developers and said, hey, that whole GPU setup with the Wii U is capable and we can make good-looking games on the Wii U. But until then, like everybody else, I have to question how capable the system is. And as of right now, it doesn't seem like it's going to be as capable. The second thing is, Nintendo, where were your awesome first-party launch titles? Why almost every generation, the last generation I could think of that had a super must-have game. Now, don't include Wii Sports. Wii Sports came with the consoles. The last time you had an awesome first-party exclusive, to me anyway, was with the Nintendo 64. Super Mario 64. Where was the Zelda at launch? Where was the real Mario? I mean, yeah, okay, Super Mario Bros. U was fun, but where was the Super Mario Galaxy at launch? Where was the Metroid? Where was all of your incredibly powerful first-party exclusives that, honestly, those are the things that keep you relevant. That's what's going to save the Wii U this generation, is those games. So even the thing that bothers me is, where were they at launch? Even if your system's under power, you know that if you had, I guarantee you, if you had a brand new, full-fledged Zelda game at launch, you would have had 10 million, 15 million Wii U's in people's homes around the world. That would have been a huge install base to start off with. You would have dominated. I don't care if the PS4 has 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM in it. You would have had this huge install base, and it would have enticed third-party developers. The bottom line is, Nintendo, is that you screwed up the launch of the Wii U. Microsoft and Sony metaphorically had their ass cheeks spread for you and were like, please, Nintendo, just pound away and dominate our asses. And instead, you zipped up your pants and walked away. You had every opportunity with your huge leap. You had over a year head start. Maybe for the Xbox, even longer. You have over a year head start to get this ginormous install base. And with the talent that you have in Nintendo and the intellectual properties you have at Nintendo, you could have done that. And you totally dropped the ball. And I'm not even talking about hardware, like I just said. You could have had a Pentium dual core in there with an 8600 GT NVIDIA GPU in there. You know, you could have had a totally super anemic system if you had that software that made the system a must-have. You would have had the install base, you would have had the sales, and you would have had the install base that would have enticed third-party developers, even if the system was not as powerful as what Microsoft and Sony may offer. I don't know why you don't learn, and maybe you're getting lazy, maybe you need to have a shake-up in upper management. I think some people, you need to get some pink slips handed to them, man, because you guys seem out of touch. I love the Wii U. I'm keeping it. I'm super excited for Bayonetta 2. Arguably more excited for Bayonetta 2 than any other game this year. But I'm just very disappointed with what I've seen so far, Nintendo. You know better. You've been in the business the longest out of anybody, and you should know what is successful and what isn't. And you just didn't think. It just seemed like a rushed, sloppy release, and you were hoping your name was just going to make consoles fly off the shelves. And that's not how it works, especially in this economy. This is Richard Review Tech USA, signing out.